Welcome back to the 2024 APP Punta Gorda Open. You just saw Rob Nunnery and Andre Diescu punch their ticket to Championship Sunday. Who will they face? That's what we're going to find out right now. Taking a live look at CJ Klinger. He and his partner Will Howells in this tournament, making their way all the way to the men's doubles semifinals. Howells already with a bronze medal that he's taken home from Florida. Won it in mixed doubles last night with his partner Bobby Oshiro. Going up against them, very familiar faces here on the APP Tour. Hunter and Yates Johnson making their way into the men's doubles semifinals. These two played in a lot of championship Sundays last year, but by our statistics, still looking for a gold here in 2024. Hunter Johnson, you see there, 29 years old, out of New Braunfels, Texas. His brother Yates already locked in one spot for himself on Championship Sunday. He'll be playing in the mixed doubles gold medal matchup with his partner Georgia Johnson, no relation. But first time those two have played together on an APP event, and it's going well. Hunter and Yates, though, have played together quite a bit. And so similar to what we just saw in Andre and Rob taking on a relatively new pairing in Ryler and Michael, what do CJ and Will have to do here to break up the communication that is innate with the Johnsons, not just because they are partners, but because they are twins?
Well, Will Howells plays with a lot of pace, a lot of energy, and CJ Klinger, same thing, but can go kind of either way with pace or with kind of touch and finesse and move that ball around. I like the combination of the two of them. So far, so good for them as well, obviously, sitting here in a semifinal. So I think right here for them, it is going to be choosing the right time to attack and getting into a game flow that suits them. Meaning I think they need to play slow to fast instead of trying to play with a ton of pace first. Because the Johnsons do want to play with that fast pace. They like speeding the ball up, especially off the bounce. So I'm going to look for them to play slow and then speed up on the side of Howells and Klinger.
Yeah, and they need to come out and really kind of set the pace and set the tone in game one. The Johnson brothers have lost game one in their last two matches. And Dom, I'm going to throw out another thing that we saw in 2023. Tweety. You have to get the Johnson brothers fighting against each other.
100%. 100%. You got to get that bickering between siblings.
Brothers and partners here on the APP Tour, but that gold medal is something that they are very much aligned in, want to win it together, and now they sit one match away from putting themselves in position to do just that to start 2024. Both of these guys are already going to be playing tomorrow. I mentioned Yates made it in mixed doubles. Hunter Johnson going to be competing for his first gold medal of 2024 in men's singles. So we've seen the Johnson brothers a lot. We've seen them here on center court, championship court, quite a bit as well. But for those who are joining us here in 2024, what is it about this duo that has them so consistently playing together well?
Well, one thing that we talk about with partnerships all the time is that communication, that familiarity. You can't get any closer than twin brothers. So they played tennis doubles together. They've been playing men's doubles since they came into pickleball, so they have that understanding. But the other thing is, too, is typically we see Hunter on the left, Yates on the right. They're also not afraid to mix that up if one of the brothers feels like they're being isolated a little bit more, or they just need a different look. Typically, it's a little bit more difficult when you have that established partnership of left side player, right side player. These guys are able to switch both sides.
So that'll be something to watch here on Championship Court. It's going to be Yates and Hunter Johnson taking on Will Howells and CJ Klinger. CJ, somebody in men's doubles who burst onto the scene last year in St. Louis with Andre Mick. It was a lot of fun to watch that duo for a few tournaments last year.
Yeah, CJ is one of those kids that, Chad and I have known since he was about half that size, and just a little scrawny kid running around as a court rat, jumping court to court at different tournaments that you used to host, I used to host, and now turned into a full-blown professional pickleball player. And at first you'd almost look at him maybe a year ago or so and be like, I can get through this kid, I can beat him.
Very unassuming.
Right. But now everybody knows. The book is out on him. You can't play through him. If you try and play through him, you're going to get beat because his hands are so good. He resets balls that you wouldn't imagine would be able to get reset. And then again, he turns that defense very quickly into offense. So that whole mindset and then just his calm and cool demeanor, because you can look at him and you don't know if it's 10-0 his way or the other way.
We'll find out who takes the lead here first on championship court. Thomas Tadler, our head referee for this men's doubles semifinal, to decide who is going to play Andre Diescu and Rob Nunnery on Championship Sunday to take home the gold. It's going to be CJ Klinger getting us started with the serve.
Johnson on my left. 2 out of 3, 2-11. Game 1, time in.
Oh, and just like that, Hunter starting with a little Ernie there down the middle.
Well, nice and smooth, too. Doesn't try and do too much with it. It was a pretty low ball, but again, able to guide that through the middle with a little forehand roll.
That one's close to the sideline there. Howells tries to go around the post, catches the top of the net post.
1-0-1.
Didn't quite wait long enough for that to develop outside it.
Yates getting a little help off the top of the net there. Bounces ball up into the shoulder of Howells. Can't get out of the way of it.
Yeah, that's another situation there where Klinger has to try to find the feet of Yates rather than trying to go through him. And then the short return there doesn't help. Johnson brothers, two of the best third shot drive executors that we have. Plenty of power, plenty of shape, plenty of dip.
Good recovery there from Hunter, but pops it up, and Howells there to put it away.
Good start here so far, though, for the Johnson brothers.
3-0-2 for Hunter serve.
Nice aggressive two-handed cross-court dink there from CJ Klinger. Get the side out, see if they can get on the board here early in game 1.
Good reach in and spot there from Klinger. Goes right at that right shoulder of Hunter.
1-3-1.
Can't quite get it out there for that pancake volley.
That ball a little bit outside, pushing him onto their second serve. It'll be Howells with the serve, who played his collegiate tennis at the University of Notre Dame. Set up there from Yates, and then Hunter doing a good job keeping the pressure on once Howells and Klinger got backed up.
Yeah, nice little flick volley there from Yates, going the deep corner of the court.
That was a dirty lob, lands it right in the corner.
3-1-2.
Set that whole point up.
Oh, I think potentially 3 out balls got hit right there.
I was
But
thinking
they're
two,
going center
yeah,
mass.
Right.
4-1-2.
Hard for Klinger to get out of the way of. So it's a point for the Johnson brothers. Howells doing a good job getting on top of that ball, putting just a little bit of spice on it, but a great angle.
Well, after you hit the first lob and you're like, I can get another one. Not that time. Just doesn't get it up and over to the right angle.
I used to be able to jump like that.
1996.
141.
At least 2006.
Yeah.
Good leave there by Klinger. He was winding up, ready for it, decided to let it bounce. Smart call.
I'll recall.
Well, the big part there, too, was the communication between Klinger and Howells.
There's that great defense there from Klinger as he's being attacked. Resets those nicely. It's right back into point.
3-4-1. Howells with the serve. Big serve. Yates can't get it back over the net, so tie game.
441.
4-4-1.
Second serve.
Good spot there from Yates. Even though you have 2 forehands there in the middle,
442.
you are able to, with some deception, get that ball behind both of them.
Oh.
Whoopsie. It's a little reach and roll there.
441.
Gets a side out. Yates with the serve.
Point.
Good shape there from Hunter. Not a whole lot of pace, but has that dip down below the net.
Nice finish there from Hunter Johnson down that line.
Another look here. Into your living room, as you like to say, Dom.
Yeah.
6-4-1. Yates with the serve.
Popped up just a little bit there from Yates. Kind of stopped his swing.
642.
Klinger gonna make you pay for that one.
Side out.
Side out here. If you're new to pickleball and watching the Johnson brothers,
461.
you can tell them apart
Hold.
by, oh,
It's questionable whether both feet were on the ground on that serve. Maybe reserve that. Both feet have to be on the ground.
so reserving the ball here because the head referee said he was uncertain if both feet were on the ground for Klinger. So he's going to have him reserve it. And on the reserve, it gets pushed onto their second serve from Howells, just flipping that one a little too low and into the net.
462.
Oh, Yates with the filthy drop on that.
Two
Filthy
for,
lob.
2 for 3, but that one actually helped. The ball got a little bit further behind him, so he was able to step back, put a little bit more pace and some spin on it. Once that ball landed, it kicked away from Klinger. Oh,
Couldn't
that's
have
a good
asked for a
spot.
better spot.
Timeout receivers.
And a timeout called on the court by Klinger and Howells as the Johnson brothers take a 7-4 lead here in game number 1. So, again, if you're new to pickleball, just joining us here in 2024 on the APP Tour, it's worth giving you a little bit of insight on how to tell the Johnson brothers apart. And it is because Hunter will always be wearing that arm sleeve on his right arm. Yates wearing the little sweatband. They used to wear different colored socks, got away from that. This is how you can tell them apart in 2024.
Yeah, and today they're wearing different color shoes, so we can point them out. But being around them so much over the past year and a half, now, like, we see them and you're like, oh, I know who that is.
So different, yeah.
So they're totally different.
Absolutely. And once their personalities are relatively different as
Oh,
well.
100%.
And so it's always fun to get a chance to talk with the Johnson brothers.
Hunter's a little more conservative, laid back to himself. Yates is very boisterous, likes to talk, will talk your ear off.
Very boisterous.
Boisterous.
Wow.
It's almost like
Stealthily.
stealthily.
Yeah, we're just throwing out big words today, trying to sound educated.
Using my thesaurus.
Spell it.
Anyway, it's 8-4.
Back to play. T.H. Thesaurus. Tough spot right there for Yates to be speeding up from in transition with his feet flat.
So it'll be a side out here. Klinger with the serve. Opportunity to cut this 4-point lead.
That was an extremely tough pickup there for Klinger, right at his toes. Good job. One, picking that up, and then two, taking a look here. The counter, an attack right into the body. Yates Johnson. Ooh, that one's a little flat.
Yeah, Klinger couldn't get on top of it. Just leads with that elbow and it paddles flat. Can't get a downward angle to it.
Hunter with a great movement there on the forehand, forcing a side out. 8-5-1.
That ball died, just going into the wind. I think Howells actually put a little bit of pace on it, but it knocked it down.
You can see the wind there with our rainstorm flag. Corner championship court.
Oh, off the tape. Nothing Howells and Klinger can do right there. Tough break there for your number 6 seed here.
9-5-2 for Hunter, sir. You see Hunter motioning with his arm, I think talking about the wind and how it's starting to pick up, play a role here, and how the ball is moving.
Just missing that little inside-out forehand flick down the line.
Well, the wind actually pushed that one deep because it didn't have a whole lot of pace on it, or the spin to drop it down. Wind just caught it.
Yates going for the change of pace. Just can't get it over the net. So it's a 7-9 now.
Taking a look at the defense there from Klinger and Howells.
Just when you think you have a comfortable lead here at 9-4, it's all of a sudden now 9-7. The timeout from Johnson and Johnson here, as they're going to try and slow the momentum here of Howells and Klinger down. But it's a good job by Howells and Klinger staying in some points here. They were on their heels that last point, had a couple overheads that they got back from both Hunter and Yates Johnson, but great job to get back in this first game here. The ever so important first game. There is Darren. That is CJ Klinger's dad right there watching intently in the front row.
Receiving team, you have one timeout. Remaining serving team, you have one timeout.
Out of the timeout here, it's going to be Will Howells
7-9-1.
with the serve.
That's tough right there. CJ sitting on that, Chad.
Yeah.
You and I are both shaking our heads.
Didn't really disguise that speed up at all. As soon as that ball came over the net, took the paddle back big.
Ooh, some great drive there from Will Howells to tie us up at 9-all.
Well, and that's the last thing that Hunter and Yates Johnson want is Will Howells playing loose, free, and fast. That's his game. And now he had started off playing how we were talking about, Chad, play slow to work fast. Well, that's exactly what they did. They played slow, and now they're starting to work fast.
So it ties us up at 9-all, and the Johnsons use another timeout here.
Yeah, I mean, you have to use that timeout. You can't go home with them, and they need to get that stop. I think the given Howells just a couple too many short balls on that backhand side, and his backhand drive is actually stronger than his forehand drive.
15 seconds.
He's allowed,
Receivers, you have zero
enabled them
timeouts.
to put a little bit more of that pressure on.
Time in. 9-9-1.
Big point here. Will Howells with the serve.
Great patience right there, and good spot, good counter from Klinger.
And just like that, a game point opportunity here for Howells and Klinger.
10-9-1.
Yates, excuse me, doing everything he can to force that point.
He's going to come out, put the pressure on, start that, and just go for broke.
Unlucky bounce off of the tape for Yates Johnson, and so it will be the first game going to Will Howells and CJ Klinger.
That's just a great bounce back there from Howells and Klinger as they were down. Looked like Johnson and Johnson were in control at 9-4, and they rattle off 7 straight to take it 11-9.
So game 2 coming up in our men's doubles semifinals when we come back.
From tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped, suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
The APP is sponsored by Rain Energy, clean, plant-based energy. PowerPlate, precision wave technology for every body. And Pickleball Superstore.
A reminder to check out pickleballsuperstore.com via the QR code right there on your screen to get your instant discount. That's pickleballsuperstore.com. Back with live action here on Championship Court Men's Doubles Semifinals, game number 2 underway. Klinger and Howells picking right up where they left off in game 1.
And that's quintessential pickleball nowadays. Slow, slow, fast, 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 whack, whack, whack.
Oh, great read right there from Will Howells as he senses the speed up in the middle and then punches that right back down.
It's worth noting that Hunter and Yates lost the first game in each of their previous matches to punch their ticket here to the semifinals, came back and won those. So they've dropped game 1 to Howells and Klinger, but they're by no means out of this match.
Oh.
That point should have been over 3 times, and it wasn't because of the hands of CJ Klinger keeping those speed ups in play.
0-1-1 the score for Yates serve.
Good spot there from Klinger. Goes across the body of Yates. Hunter tries to step in the middle and take it, but ball's almost shielded from him.
Big serve there from Hunter. Klinger doing a good job to keep his feet under him as he moves through transition, gets the ball back on their side.
We've seen both Hunter and Yates visibly frustrated, and that's the last thing that they need to do. And right there, that's what happens. You get that frustrated, start to overhit.
And as we saw in the last match, oftentimes the unforced errors are what make the difference when you get this deep in the bracket.
Well, just deep.
Tried to sell it.
Yeah.
Another look here. Little help off the net there from Klinger. Looks over at Will Howells and says, all day. It's not how you draw it up, but you will always take that.
Oh, you'll take that every day of the week.
3-0-2. Klinger with the serve.
Better spot there from Hunter. Yates and Hunter switching back with Hunter on the left, Yates on the right.
Chance here for Hunter and Yates to get on the board. Hunter calling for Yates to grab that overhead, a little bit late on that. Yates not quite ready for it. So on to their second serve.
That's just not the spot right there. And Klinger's going, no.
Actually jumping back a little bit. That is very, very rare to see CJ Klinger giving a little talk back.
As soon
He
as
says
he
no
hit that,
and
he
shakes
said,
his head.
nope, not happening.
And then she keeps shaking his head. CJ Klinger on a heater right now, feeling it as he and his partner up 3-0.
Yeah, he's gotten a little bit more confident in the last 6 months or so. Very reserved, very quiet. Definitely, you know, we always talk about on court compared to off court. A lot of guys that are fiery on the court, typically, you know, relatively nice guys off the court, a little bit quieter. CJ Klinger maybe says 3 words in a day off the court.
You said one of them already.
But CJ has had that streak since he started making appearances on championship court. Remember what he did with Andre Mick?
Yeah, you got gold in St. Louis. They were back in championship.
But do you remember the gift he gave
Philadelphia? Oh, the boomerang.
The boomerang.
pass.
Andre Mick, an Australian native like yourself, and has a tendency to be fiery. CJ noticed he started throwing his paddle a lot, and so he gifted him a paddle with a boomerang attached to the end of it so that it would always come back when his partner threw it away from him. So a little bit of a fiery streak in CJ from the beginning of his time here on championship court in the APP Tour.
I see what Thomas Tadler, our referee, is noticing with Klinger's serve. He's very close to being off the ground as he makes contact. I mean, he is right there. Nice reset right there from Hunter Johnson, and then speeds the next ball up. And what I'm talking about is the rule is you need to have 1 foot in contact with the ground all times. You can lift one off, but the other has to be in contact as you make contact with the ball.
I think it's not questioned more with CJ because he's not gaining any ground from it. He's not gaining a height advantage. It's just in that motion, and he goes up and down in the same spot. Little unlucky there for Yates. Peeked over the net cord. Didn't like what it saw on the other side.
I opt out, thank you. Just a little mishit there from
Wind
Yates.
almost looked like it pushed it away from him.
Yeah, the wind picking up absolutely here on Championship Court. You can see it in the flags. Take another look here.
Just missed the baseline. That one's out of here.
Over the green monster. It's a blue monster here on the APP, but
Hey,
you're welcome for the baseball reference.
yeah, I got you. But you notice after last night they put Barry up there behind
They
it.
did.
Oh, wow. Well, haircut there as the ball sails by the left or right ear of Hunter Johnson.
Big forehand there from Will Howells, backing up the Johnson brothers.
1-4-2.
Pushing them onto their second serve. 1-4-2. A lot of net involvement on that point.
And net involvement and a little bit of frustration coming out there for the Johnson brothers.
Some big two-handers in there from the Johnson brothers, forcing Klinger and Howells onto their second serve.
Yeah, but even if Klinger and Howells make a mistake, the point's not done. They're making the Johnsons work for every point.
Well, now it's got to be the flip side. It's got to be Hunter and Yates need to work from a slow pace to a fast pace and not get into those hands battles right now.
Just out. I mean, there's no way that ball was staying in the court. But there was also no way that Klinger was going to get out of the way of it.
Hunter was all over it. He reads it nicely, just gets too much on top of it, almost ahead of it.
2-4-2.
2-4-2 the score for Yates serve.
I saw that ball.
That ball sailing long, so the Johnsons doing a great job to get themselves back into this second game, trailing 4-0 at one point, and now tied it up.
A couple of errors creeping in here for Howells.
4-4-2.
And there it is, the first lead for the Johnson brothers of this game.
Albeit by a net cord, but it's a friendly net cord.
Take it.
The net giveth and the net taketh away. I think Yates had a word with the ball. Oh,
Okay,
needs
maybe
to talk
not.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing
rub
conversation.
it a little bit. Little kiss.
It's an ongoing conversation.
I mean, I will say we have seen in the last 2 days, 3 days, a lot of net cords.
Well, what's that testament to is the level of play. The margin for error is so close with so many of these high-level players now.
I commented on that to you last night, Dom, when we were watching Andre and Megan against Susanna and Rob. It was like every single ball, just you couldn't even see air between the ball and the net.
Yes! Come on!
Another good drive there from Howells and good pressure from Klinger.
So Howells and Klinger regain the lead on their second serve.
What a pickup from Klinger there. Now, and that's right, that he makes the mistake. Should he have taken that middle ball? Probably not. Howells was set up. Goes for it, makes the mistake, pops it up, but doesn't give up on that mistake. He's fighting to stay in every point. Howells is fighting to stay in every point.
I mean, the dig in the middle from Klinger was almost behind him. He's scooping that ball back, and not only does he get it back, but he resets it perfectly and then sets up the next ball that he can put away.
And so it is Howells and Klinger here building on a 2-point lead. After taking game one, 11-9, they now sit just 4 points away from punching their ticket to our men's doubles finals.
Well,
here.
AJ, correct me if I'm
Punta
wrong. It's
Gorda.
a 3-0 run right there from Howells and Klinger, correct? They were down 5-4. Now take a 7-5 lead. Again, game of runs.
Yep.
Now time for the Johnsons to stop that run here.
Great crowd filling in here around Championship Court. Getting some great pickleball action, enjoying this Florida sunshine that if you're watching from almost any other state in the union, I'm sorry. We're not trying to rub your face in it.
Yes, we are.
It just is what it is.
Ted and I live here.
Here in Florida in January.
That's why we moved here.
For a little bit longer anyway.
Yes, yeah.
Even the doggos enjoying the pickleball action. I like the Ladybugs sweater on that one. These Florida dogs, you know, even
They're
they need their
cold,
winter
too.
coat.
They're cold too.
You know, I've lived West Coast, East Coast,
North,
Midwest, Southwest. I've come to the realization that the winter's cold, the summer's hot. It's just relative to what your body's got used to.
Very true.
That's a volley right there that Yates Johnson can't miss.
That was my philosophical side.
Side out
Much.
here. So it's going to be Hunter and Yates with the ball back on their side. Opportunity to cut into this 3-point lead.
That ball got right at the feet of Hunter Johnson.
A little frustration coming out right there, but it was excellent ball control, ball movement from Klinger. A little too overextended there from Howells. Didn't have anything left other than the flick.
6-8-2 for Yates serve.
Wow, what a drive, but an even better block from Howells. And then you have Yates Johnson recovering to get this, too, and drop that back in perfectly.
Chance to tie things up. few out balls in that little firefight, but finally Howells and Klinger able to leave one, enough for it to sail out. So an important hold there for Klinger and Howells as they get the ball back on their side, holding on to that lead. It's much slimmer than when they gave it to the Johnson brothers, but chance to extend it here.
Oh. Wow. Klinger trying to get the crowd pumped up right now, but I mean, some of the gets right here. Hands by Klinger, resets by Yates. Double Ernie.
And just like that, CJ Klinger and Will Howells on the verge of finishing what they started here. Match point. Yates not letting that one get over his head. Instead, takes a good angle on it, puts it away.
One more hold here. Johnson's still alive if they can get this.
And hold it, they do.
It looked like Howells wanted to do 4 different things with that ball, and at the last second changed his mind.
Instead, it's a side out here. Great leave there by Hunter and Yates. Thinking about that, we've talked about leaving it if you're thinking about 4 or 5 things before you do it. I was a whitewater rafting guide in college, and our saying was hesitation is devastation. Choose what you're going to do and stick with it. Hunter and Yates certainly choosing what they're doing well right now as they find themselves on the verge of tying things up, and a critical point here, because if they can get this one back, it is win by 2. So even if they have to give the ball back to Howells and Klinger without being able to put this game away, Howells and Klinger can't just win it with 1 serve.
Yeah, huge point here, and I believe Johnson here are on second server at 9-10-2 here. So huge point. Good timeout here from Howells and Klinger. Make the Johnson brothers think about this a little bit and put a little added pressure on, knowing that if they don't get this point, it's 2 more opportunities for Howells and Klinger to end this.
Pressure on top of the facts that are on your screen. What's at stake in this men's doubles match? Just a shot at the gold medal match, that's all. If you lose this one, you're heading to the bronze medal match, and it means that is the only color hardware you have the opportunity left to win. Hunter with the serve.
Oh, apologize, it's 1, it's first server, so they're still on first server here.
And now they've tied us up at 10-all.
Good ball there from Howells, getting it out wide to Hunter Johnson. Pops it up. Good reach in from Klinger.
Oh, and a little indecision right there from Yates Johnson. What do you want to do? Either take that out of the air or play it off the bounce. Jams them up, but they do tie it up.
10-10-1.
And like we talked about, that's why that point was so critical. Must win by 2, but Klinger and Howells get 1 really quick.
Missed returns. So costly.
Another match point opportunity here for Klinger and Howells.
Oh, Howells a little out in front of it. I think he thought it was going to get on him a little quicker. Had a little more time than he thought.
11-10-2.
Massive hold there by Hunter and Yates.
not the spot that Johnson's wanted to be in right there with
10-11-1.
Yates off court.
Saw Hunter Johnson just get a little tentative with that backhand dink. He's popped a couple of the last ones up.
10-11-2.
Good ball control, good ball movement from Howells and Klinger.
So what a hold from Howells and Klinger, setting themselves up for the 5th match point opportunity.
Good pressure in a tough situation right there. Those balls weren't terrible resets, but the Johnson's reaching in, using that roll.
Oh.
What?
Tight.
This is Hunter and Yates right now doing everything they can to stay calm, cool, collected, get the ball back on their side, and they do.
Again, miss return.
11-11-1.
Momentum is shifting back and forth.
Oh, a little change up through the middle, pulled the string on it, drops it in.
11-11-2 for Hunter Johnson. What a move there by Will Howells. Will, the 7th time. Oh, we're not at another. No match point opportunity here. Sorry. Math is not mathing.
Got to score one before.
Win by 2.
Tough ball to speed up there. Johnson hitting off the back foot.
12-11-1.
Ball almost level with the hip.
Now another match point opportunity here for Howells and Klinger. Can they finish it? Not on that one.
Just misses back corner. What number is this, AJ?
This will be number 8.
Wow.
If my math is mathing correctly at this point.
You like the math.
Well,
12-11-2.
It's just tally marks.
hey. And they get it done. CJ Klinger and Will Howells sat on the verge of victory for so long. Finally, finish it off here in game number 2 to punch their ticket to Championship Sunday. We'll hear from the winners when we come back.
Years from tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped, suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
I'm Chef Chad Rosenthal, and I'm here today with Vlasic Pickles to put the pickle in pickleball. In pickleball, a dill ball is a shot that is inbounds and is bounced only once. It's a live ball. This Vlasic Pickle Dip is a live ball of pickle flavor. Crunchy pickle perfection.
The APP is sponsored by Partake Brewing. Partake in the good life. Pro XR. And Tervis.
We'll take another look at match point for CJ Klinger and Will Howells. Back and forth battle, but it came down to who made the fewer errors down the stretch. And the defense from Klinger and Howells kept the minute. And unfortunately, Johnson brothers, just a couple too many mistakes. This last one going into the top of the net. So it's CJ Klinger and Will Howells moving on to Championship Sunday in men's doubles. Dominic Catalano's courtside.
All right, I'm with CJ Klinger, Will Howells. First and foremost, congratulations. Moving on to Championship Sunday. CJ, this will be your third Championship Sunday. You have one gold medal, one silver medal. What's it mean for you to move on to Sunday?
Yeah, I just put in all the hard work, and it shows it pays off.
Absolutely, 100%. And Will, playing next to CJ, it's got to be comfortable. He gets everything back. He's so solid. And then what's it also mean for you to be here and make your first Championship Sunday?
It's awesome. I'm excited. CJ's a rock over there. He's been doing a great job all day, and it's nothing more to be said, honestly. He's a great player, and I'm lucky to be playing with him.
All right, CJ, Will, congratulations. Moving on to Championship Sunday. We'll take a break here on Championship Court. Next up, your first Women's Pro Doubles semifinal here at the APP Punta Gorda Open.